Hello and welcome to the Peaceful Place. I'm your host, Melissa Field, and this is a space where we come together to cultivate and nurture our dreams of the world that we want to see in reality, the world that we want to see that is loving, inclusive, that is supportive and encouraging of the transgendered community, that supports Black women, Indigenous women, all women of color, all women in general. And it is just a space where we know that what we were aiming for in that 2024 election, it is more important than ever. And those dreams are more alive than ever. We are coming together to hold space for ourselves, for each other, for the LGBTQ plus community, for people who are scared, hurting, and really just need to know that we haven't given up. Not only have we not given up, but we are more passionate than ever about bringing our dream of a loving, inclusive world to fruition. And we come together because there's power in community. When you feel alone, it can feel so overwhelming. It can feel like it's just impossible, that there's just an insurmountable force before us. But when we come together, we remember that together we are powerful, and we come together from a space of love. And love is the most powerful force in the universe. And as we come together today, I want you to remember that not only is change possible, but it is something that has happened in even the darkest of times. The light has found a way, and it will find a way again. But it won't happen because we give up or we stop believing in what it is we know to be true, which is that things can be better. Things can be better. And you have the courage to continue to push for that, to continue to bring that into reality. You are here because you are courageous. And I am so grateful that you are here on behalf of yourself and all of the people who need this right now. So as we are getting deeper into this experience of 2025 and we are seeing the chaos unfolding, it's more important than ever to remind yourself that not only are your dreams realistic, but the universe is wanting them to come into reality. Not only are your dreams realistic, but they are the type of thing that changes the world for the better. Good does come through. And we have to keep reminding ourselves of that. Your dreams, your desire for a loving, positive, inclusive world, it's possible. When you look back, you can see that we have made progress. And are we in a dark, scary time right now? We are. But we are further along than ever, and we're going to keep moving forward. And we're going to remind ourselves that this is a co-creative world. This is a co-creative universe where all of our thoughts are interacting with the infinite energy of the quantum, of higher dimensions, of the collective consciousness. So you are creating. You are not a passenger in all of this. Your thoughts are part of what is creating the collective. This is a co-creative universe. And right now, what has been created has come from a space of fear. It has come from a space of people who feel powerless, wanting desperately to feel powerful and important. And we're going to remind ourselves that we are creating from a space of love and light really are the most powerful forces in the universe. Love moves mountains. Love brings miracles into reality. And love is just so much lighter. It's so much more energizing. When you come from a space of love, you have infinite energy for what it is you want. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to bring your focus back onto what it is you want. As things are happening, as policies are being put out there, as you see chaos in the government and in the world, it can really just scatter your energy and put all of your focus onto things that feel uncertain, scary, and that just put all of your energy onto what it is you don't want. But I want you to remind yourself that you are an important part of this universe. You are imbued with the divine energy, and that what you focus on expands. And what is happening right now is so much of our collective energy is being focused on the chaos, on the fear, and it's expanding, and we can feel it. So we're going to harness our energy right here and now, focus on what it is we want, and just put a shift in the momentum. Every single person who shifts the momentum is important. Do not underestimate how important it is for one person to look at this and say, I choose different. And we're not going to do this because we are going to ignore what's happening and we're not pretending that it's not happening. What we are doing is harnessing the power of thought and focus for the greater good. We're not tuning out. We're not numbing ourselves. We are remembering that we are co-creators with this world, with the universe, and our thoughts have an energy to them. And we're going to radiate an energy that says, here's what I want. My thoughts are powerful. My energy is powerful. This is how I make a difference in this moment. And it's also just going to help your nervous system to calm down, your energy to restore. Because if you are overwhelmed, you really can't do any of the things you want to do. You can't be supportive and make the difference you want to make. So let's tune into what you really want, get you aligned, and then we'll just take it from there. This is a journey of one step at a time. And right now, your step, all you need to do is to just remember what it is you want. So let's get into that. When you were deciding in 2024 in the election for the leader you wanted, what is it you wanted? What were you intending and why did you want it? I want you to really think about that. What did you want for your community, for the world, as an example of moral leadership? And make sure it's not coming from a negative space in terms of comparison to what you didn't want. Focus purely on what you wanted and why you wanted it and why you knew it was a good energy, a good thing. Just focus on that for a minute. What did you want and why did you want it? And now I want you to focus on some specific things and on the intended outcome that you wanted. Because again, what you focus on is putting energy into the world. Your thoughts don't just exist in your mind, but they are powerfully interacting with the energy to create future realities. We are all creating and directing our own life with our thoughts. But there's also a collective consciousness, and you get to feed into that. You get to create a critical mass with all the other people thinking about this. So think about some specific things of what you wanted. Perhaps you really wanted more support for the transgender community. Perhaps you wanted more support for anti-racism and for inclusivity and awareness of how oppression affects people. Perhaps you wanted more support for women's rights. I want you to really get into something specific. Pick one or two things that you really felt passionate about, and then think about what was the outcome you wanted, and visualize that. Visualize what it is you wanted to be happening and see it in your mind, because you must remember, everything that happens physically begins with an energetic thought. Everything that's happening externally begins internally. So pick something that was really important to you and visualize it happening in the way you want it, and know that this is more than a thought exercise. This is you creating, interacting with the quantum field, future realities. If you want to get there, you have to create it. And it doesn't mean you're going to be the one doing everything. You're putting this out to the universe, which sees all possibilities, all key parts, all components. It's going to see all people who can help to bring this into reality. You put the thought out there, and the universe delivers it in whatever way is of the easiest and most productive. That's whatever's in the highest good of everyone. So you don't have to come up with what you want and then think, oh my gosh, now how is this going to happen? It's not all on you. Remind yourself that you are a part of something bigger, and that there are higher energetic forces who are ready and willing to help, but you have to ask. You have to put it out there. So see this now. What is one thing, maybe one or two things that, yes, I would love to see this happen. Breathe into it, energize it, see it in its most beautiful, vibrant outcome. And now I want you to just think again about what is it you actually wanted, and have you been focusing on it, or have you been kind of overwhelmed by the chaos and by the negativity, by the news, which is completely natural. That's a very natural reaction to what's happening, especially when we are feeling shock and overwhelm. It can be really hard to pull back and remind ourselves, there is a power within me. So remind yourself again, what is it you want? What do you want to be focusing on? What do you want to be energizing with the divine energy of the entire universe that is pulsing through you? And I want you to just make a commitment to yourself to really bring more of this into your daily life. It can be really hard to tune it all out. We're going to give ourselves compassion and grace that it's hard to really fully bring our focus back to this all the time. But doing this, just like we just did, it's more important than you know. So even if for the rest of the day you become consumed by things that aren't in alignment with this, that's okay. Because you can come back. And because this is what you are passionate about, this is got so much more energy in it. And every time you focus on it, it does 1,000 times more than when you focus on what feels scary or unwanted. So for the rest of the day, you lose this, don't worry about it. Those are things that are just kind of like noise. When you return to what it is you want, what it is you're intending, it is like an explosion of light. And it does so much. So you can come back to this even tomorrow or anytime you just want to remember, what is it that I wanted? What am I co-creating with all of the other people who share my intentions? Because let's not forget, millions and millions of people share your values and your intentions, and you are not in this alone. We are going to focus our energy and co-create that beautiful, loving, inclusive reality that we wanted. And we're going to remember that this is realistic because all throughout history, things have changed for the better, and focus on that. Focus on that. Things can and do change, and sometimes quickly. Sometimes it's literally from one day to the next, things have changed. So really remember that this time you spend focusing on what you want is so important because your dreams, your desires, they're co-creating, and they can and will become our collective reality. So I'm going to finish here, and if you would like to spend more time getting in touch with yourself, just kind of letting go of this fear energy, I would love for you to come and join me in my membership. If you join Tier 1, it's $5 per month, and you'll have access to almost 300 meditations that are all about personal empowerment, restoring your connection to your light. There's affirmations, gratitude, also a lot of manifesting meditations. And although it can feel a little bit weird right now to continue to work on our personal dreams, on what it is you want individually, just know that that in itself is a powerful act of resistance, of saying, I am still important, what I want is still important, and I am not going to let this chaos derail me from doing what I am passionate about, from doing what feels purposeful to me. So although you may be wanting to continue to focus on the collective and what we're creating collectively, remember that you are part of this and you are important. And I've got a whole membership full of meditations that are here to serve you and nurture you if that's what feels good to you. And you can access some of them if you become an Apple subscriber, but the membership is the best way to do it because it's the same price and you get all of the meditations. So that is the Dream Life portal, and I will link to that in my episode notes. And I will be back again as soon as I can with another episode of The Peaceful Place. Thank you so much for joining me. What we do here is so powerful, and it really keeps me going. It really just nourishes me and empowers me to know we really are in this together, and we're going to do this. We're going to make the difference that we know we can make. I am your host, Melissa Field, and I'll see you again soon.